I'm Curt Frye. In this movie, I would like to show you how to use the XLOOKUP function in Excel to return a cell range. It's something you can do in XLOOKUP that you can't do using VLOOKUP and similar functions. The sample file I'm using is called return cell range, and you can download that using the link that I provide in the video description below. I'll show you how to do this with a couple of different scenarios. Over on the left, I have monthly sales, and my goal is to create a formula that will return sales from March to August. And yes, I could do this in the workbook with a filter, but what I assume is that I want to create a formula that will return the values, and I can use those for other calculations. So I'll just write them out here so it's easier to tell. I'll start by creating just a normal cell range so you can see what I'm going for. In cell E5, I'll type equal, and then I will do B2 colon B5 and enter, and you see the values. So what I did was I just typed in the cell range, and the colon separates the start and the end. So I have the top left value and the bottom right value. If I were to type A2 to B5, then I would get January, February, and the associated sales. So my goal is to find the first value based on the search criteria that I have here in cells E2 and E3, and use a colon with a pair of XLOOKUP statements to find those values. So again, I'll click in cell E5, type equal. Then we're looking up E2. So that is the first month, and then a comma. We're going to be looking it up in column A, so that's the months here from A2 to A13, then a comma. We want the actual sales rather than the month name, so that will be B2 through B13, then a right parentheses. And then because this will return a cell reference, I can add a colon and then do the same thing. So we have XLOOKUP. This time the end will be in E3, which is currently August, then a comma. Lookup array is A2 to A13, comma, return array B2 through B13. Then a right parentheses and enter, and we get the values. Now note that the formatting isn't continued past the first cell, and that's not something that I've been able to get around. So what you will need to do after you create your formula is to change the formatting for each of these cells. So in this case, I will change it to accounting, and because I don't have anything in the decimal for cents, I will reduce the number of decimal places. If I change from August to October, then the new values don't get the formatting, so I need to add that. And if I change the top value to February, then we get something similar. We have an additional cell that did not have the proper formatting applied. So this is a limitation of this approach. And typically, if you don't want to display the numbers, and that will be the usual use case, then you can do that without applying any formatting and just rely on the numbers. Now let's go over to the right and see what happens with dates. So in cell K5, I'll type equal, and then XLOOKUP. First value is in K2, then a comma, then G2 through G13, comma, then the sales are H2 through H13, right parentheses, and a colon, and then XLOOKUP again, K3, comma, then G2 through G13, and H2 through H13, right parentheses, and enter, and we get our values. Again, it's not formatted, so I'll change the formatting and make it accounting with no decimal points. And as before, we will run into the same formatting issues. So instead of having 4/9, which in the US is April 9, 2026, if we do 4/8, 2026 and enter, then the formatting works because the cell was already formatted. But if I change it from 4/8 to 4/10, 2026, and enter, then the last value is not formatted properly, so I will need to apply the formatting that I want to that cell. So as you can see, this is a very useful technique to return a cell range based on searches that you do using XLOOKUP. I hope you enjoyed this tip. If you did, please like the movie and subscribe to my channel.